Ducks versus Penta. Penta on defense, Playing Ducks on attack.
What we're seeing coming out of the woodworks here for Playing Ducks is going to be that Thermite Hibana picked together, which we didn't see Thermite in that top 5 operator selections for the attackers. But I think with Border and how much destructibility is capable of that map, I think you need to pick both.
Right, and we also didn't see Glaz in the top pick, but you know he has seen play in the European and other regions, to say the least. Penta's starting us off here. They are going to be going on to the ventilation. This is not the normal first bomb site picked for any squad in any region. Penta probably just trying to mix up the operator selection of the Playing Ducks team, and this might be successful for them. They are going to be defending this very typically. You're going to have a lot of utility and operators placed upstairs above the armory itself in an attempt to simply hold ventilations almost the same way you would hold armory itself.
And I think we saw, I want to say, it might have been Nox Gaming on from the Latin American stream on Tuesday. We saw one of the teams that were playing Border start downstairs, and they were not successful in holding. So hopefully Penta's going to be able to do their own stuff here.
Normally when you're holding downstairs ventilation instead of armory first, it's just as a mix-up tactic. Again, we talked about this earlier. It's just to try and mix up the operator selection for the other squad. But when you're defending ventilation the same way you would defend armory, that might not even play a factor.
Now we are going to see renewals out here on the Pedestrian Customs Lounge, which is going to be the south end of Border, moving in towards the break room.
That castle barricade getting opened up is going to cut off a lot of rotation potential for Penta as a whole moving forward in this round. It's going to confine them a little bit more to the northwest side of the armory. Means they might not be able to rotate into archives later on and get those flanks off onto the Playing Ducks players who are now pushing into CCTV.
We can see Secretly trying to push his way in from the west balcony, just trying to drone out a little bit first. Pengu's going to be there in the middle of the lockers, though, to try to stop this push. He hears the wall getting opened up there, and he's going to take a little peek momentarily, but Secretly might be ready. Oh, he sees the little crevice for a little crack, little pixel peek, almost picking off Pengu there.
A lot of pressure coming on to Penta in this top floor, and they are deciding not to rotate off of the top floor just yet. Somewhat surprising that they
will fall there as the wall is getting opened up
is.
here. However, there will be a C4 tossed out. Will it tag anyone? No, it will not. And that will be Goga retreating back on the side. As Eunice tries to come on through, we are going to see that L85 by Secretly say, nope, you were a little bit too slow, and takes off his body.
Just a little mistake there by Eunice, but that's going to give the man advantage now very much to Playing Ducks. And more importantly, the control advantage. They now have the top floor, which means they're able to open up that entire floor and start pressuring onto the site. However, Pengu's ready to answer that through the drop down, I believe. Yeah, it looks like it was through the drop down. Well played to Pengu there, or it could have been through the floor, what have you. He shot upwards, and see, that's the thing that a lot of people forget, is that when you're opening those holes as an attacking team, it's two-way. You know, the defenders can shoot up just as much as you can shoot down.
I think it might have been a pre-placed hole, though, by Pengu. He's, however, whatever the case, he's down here inside that ventilation room. He's just got out in time, as Snookin's going to toss some flashbangs in here. Looking like he might be going for a B plant.
Yeah, they took top floor control, and now they've rotated outside. As long as they maintain control of above the B bomb site, there's not a lot of pressure that Penta can really apply here to deny this diffuser plant.
Pengu is going to be inside of that middle hallway. Now he's actually over inside of the inspections lounge. The castle barricade, however, is going to give them a lot of freedom to get this plant down. We're going to see those gas grenades, the smoke grenades come on out. Renewal is going to cover from the window as Meepy tries to cover from above. We see Pengu trying to get back on the site. He realizes all these doors are opened up. He's going to try to work his way out. He sees Renewal, goes for the shots, but gets detected and misses. Fabian and Pengu both go down. K is going to be the last man alive. He tags one on to Meepy. You've got Snookin, Renewals, and Lackey last three alive. KS is trying to work his way forward, but it's not looking like it's going to go in his favor. Hard left is where we're going to see Snookin comes on through, but behind him is going to be Lackey, finishing him off just as Hibana does.
So Penta placed all their eggs in one single basket, maintain control of top floor and bunker specifically. You can see they had those holes in bunker upstairs to deny the diffuser plant inside the B bomb site, but as soon as they lost control of that armory bunker, they did not have any direct method to deny the plant at all. You even had Smoke playing inside the main hallway, unable to influence the diffuser plant or retake the site because of a poorly placed castle barricade. So just a little bit of a mistake in where they decided to put their utility, how they decided to set up that site from Penta, and it must have been a miscommunication. and then they will lose round number 1. Meanwhile, Playing Ducks, a good attack, taking control of above the B bomb, but not overextending themselves. They did lose a couple players in the process. However, it was negligible, let's say. And once they had control over top of B bomb site, they noticed, hey, well, they don't really have a way to stop our plan on B, so let's just waltz on in and get that defused plant down, and that's just what happened.
I think one of the things that they are going to go back, that Penta's going to go back and look at and say, we should probably have done this differently, was 11 hit that castle barricade on the B bomb site. Because we saw Pengu trying to get back onto site. We also saw the door leading to outside still closed off, so he had nowhere to go other than give away his position.
Right. I mean, 11 hit it, you know, do that, yes, and then also you need to open up some murder holes into the site itself from from server, because the guys who are playing inside of server need to be able to influence the B bomb site. You had the rotation hole, yes, but the rotation hole doesn't inherently give you any control. You have to shove yourself into the rotation hole, and that puts you now at a disadvantage because you're engaging people who have the ability to sit anywhere in the room and still hold just they could hold a 90-degree angle if they wanted to, and they would still win that fight. But now, Penta down 1 round, Playing Ducks up 1 round just to start things off here on border, and Playing Ducks is going to opt to defend the top floor. Now this is a little bit more of what we're used to seeing on border, top floor defense, and then Penta, meanwhile, they're going to be setting themselves up to take from the east and the north onto the B bomb site through offices and balcony.
Now, if they can get enough flashbangs and smokes here onto B, right on top of Secretly, they might be able to go for a quick plant, but I don't think they're going to just yet. Oh, a nade looking like it's going to come from the underneath, possibly? No, the window way. Looks like it got Meepy out. Good shot by KS.
Yeah, and that's offices control that's been taken apart by Penta onto Playing Ducks. The Bandit being off the board that early is going to be very good for this attack. They still have to contest Secretly, who's playing inside the B bomb site. That is the smoke. He is going to be able to delay for a pretty long time, probably up to about a minute. But that's on him. They also have that window inside of CCTV, which Playing Ducks are using to maintain control over the main hallway as well as offices, as you can see with those holes being opened up there. And that's why Penta, while they have picked off one of the office players, has not pushed too aggressively into office itself. They're still worried about that mirror window in CCTV.
Now, Lackey is going to be the castle who's lurking underneath. It looks like he's going to be inside. A couple ghost shots through the wall might have tagged him, but right now it's just going to spook him a little bit. He goes for the shots. Fabian, unfortunately, not able to do what he's doing. He's just turning around. Looks like he just got a blank stare or something. He will be taken out of commission as Lackey gets rid of him. KS will follow up with the trade, though, and Eunice goes down by Secretly. We are going to see Secretly, though. He's still going to be inside of the offices, but have his head removed from his body as Goga's peeking in from the east balcony. We're going to have a trade, though, by Snookin taking out Goga. 2-on-2 now with 35 seconds to go. Renewals and Snookins both up full health here in their last 30 seconds of the round, going up against a Pengu and KS.
KS looking to pressure on to this mirror window in CCTV. He's going to find the angle, but not the shot.
As he goes back down the west stairwell, we are still going to see this engagement here. Renewal's trying to waste some more time. KS got to work his way even forward. Now gets rid of the camera, comes in the fountain, but gets tagged down. Last one alive is going to be Pengu. He's trying to go into the archives there, going for the plant. He could get this down if he hops back out on the window. This actually might be successfully held.
Oh, Pengu wins these.
He got it down. They're going to have to dual challenge this out through the window and the balcony at the same time, but he's got this clutch potentially. He's got about 35 seconds on the clock. He's going to be looking one shot in the wrong position, and he will go down. Now, Renewis is going to try to hop up over the desk here. He's going to expose himself, be taken out. Now, Snookin's going to go for the peak. He's going to break the shield. That's the last shield of Blackbeard. And we're going to save Snookin. Try to move in forward and go for the hit here.
Don't fake.
He's not going to fake here. He's going to go in. He's going to go for the shots. And no, it's going to go. It's in the favor of Snookin. And he's got plenty of time to get this down pat. And we're going to have Playing Ducks secure round number 2. They've now gone up against the former league champions, 2-0.
Yeah, Playing Ducks not a team to be scoffed at, though. They did play at the Rainbow Six Invitational in the previous year. And while they were not especially successful there, they have been in Rainbow Six competition for quite a long time, and now they are up 2-0 over Penta. Some pretty big mistakes coming out for the Penta lineup, though. I mean, you saw that Ash play downstairs, unfortunately, from Fabian, not able to really get any results onto that castle, and like you said, kind of just taking a picture. But at the same time,
I have to assume that a cat jumped on his keyboard. He's basically a cat lover.
That happens. You know,
yes.
Honestly, that does happen. I've had those sorts of distractions happen whilst playing Pro League before. It is a thing that happens. But all the same, you know, there's some good play coming out from Playing Ducks at the same time.
We are going to see a new bomb site come out of the woodworks, though.
Wow,
this is going to be the Inspections Lounge by Penta.
Yeah, Customs is not a site that is very commonly defended on Border. It's pretty much shunned as the worst site on the map, I would say. People even often preferring to defend Tellers. However, Border did come out before Mira did, and now the Mira play coming from Penta might be exactly what they need to make this a winning formula. We'll see how they choose to defend it. Looks like they're going to invest very heavily in CCTV. They've opened up both of the drop downs. They're going to use that east wall of CCTV Mira window. As you can see, Chaos is probably going to be setting that up pretty soon here.
I mean, you talked about it before, how once the defense has decided they want to keep control of CCTV, it is very difficult, and it's a very expensive push for the attackers to try to take control of.
Right.
So if you can keep control of the top floor, you can keep control of the bottom floor.
Right, and it does mostly mount to the Mira window placement. That will be likely coming out here in just a second. Yeah, there it is, onto that east wall of CCTV. That gives you control over the south door from the balcony, that one that you can see Lackey and Renewals here stacking up on. It gives you control over that. It gives you control over the main hallway upstairs, both junctions, or both directions. And it also really forces the attackers. The only way to really get into CCTV is via the west lobby, or west balcony, which you can see Junis prone right now, looking towards the west lobby from Armory. He's going to be the one who's going to run out if any of the attackers pressure onto west balcony, excuse me. And the thing is that inherently then CCTV has all their bases covered, and it's really difficult to pressure it as an attacking team.
And you can see Goga's over here. He's got the heartbeat sensor detecting who's out on this west balcony to allow units to rush out forward. Now, you will spot one repelled here. That's going to be Meepy. Doesn't necessarily know which operator this is or who in particular. But from this angle that we have Goga at, he's able to get a lot of intel.
Yeah, you could see the Iron Sights coming out here for Junis onto the Bandit. That is, a lot of people would say, oh, why is he playing Iron Sights? Well, it's because Bandit Iron Sights are widely considered by professional players to be the best Iron Sights in the game. They're really quite easy to work with. It's almost like using a holographic, but you don't have the casing of the holo itself.
Now we are going to have Goga rush on out and tag Snookin', it looks as though. Might have been actually underneath. No, he had a hole in the floor. He was able to get that kill there, and that's a very good pixel peek to get rid of the thermite.
There's a really great angle where Gogo is playing specifically. Ooh, Gogo picks off another one secretly down now. That's that same exact angle you can see here on the floor that has direct line of sight onto the bottom of the window as you vault in. KS, meanwhile, is going to take out Meepy at 2 versus 5 now.
Renewal is going to get a couple shots into his side, and we've got all of the members of Playing Ducks just dying within the next 15 seconds apart from each other.
Right. And a great angle there from Penta. I mean, we've seen that angle a couple times before outside. Well, okay. That angle's existed for a long time on Border. But the thing is that since nobody decides to bring it to Customs, it's been it doesn't get utilized. And Penta thinking to themselves, okay, well, what's the problem with Customs? Well, you were talking about this earlier. You have to maintain control over CCTV. And before Mira came out, that was a daunting task. Now that Mira's out, you can utilize that window to maintain control over CCTV as a whole. It becomes then very easy to deny access to the bottom bomb site from above in CCTV to Custom specifically. Then what's your dilemma then? Then you have to deal with storage room. Storage room becomes the issue for the defensive squad. But you can stop a storage room push just with that one angle that you saw Goga playing in. So overall, a great setup there from Penta, and something that we haven't really seen much of before. Now, Playing Ducks going to be defending that ventilation room as they were successful in their Armory defense, and they do not have any new things to show us here on Border, at least not yet.
I think one of the ways that Playing Ducks could have addressed that top floor hold was to come into the archives, come into the office, and try to take over lockers where the Bandit was. Then from that lockers area, from the Armory, that side, you push in towards office or towards the CCTV room. That way, where we see the Renewals reinforcing the walls here, because those walls were not reinforced. So you could easily take a sledgehammer, open up the wall some, or what have you, to try to get that pulse out from behind the shelving unit.
Right, and that would be the correct way to pressure onto that site, but obviously, I mean, that's the nature of pocket strats, right? That's why we don't see those sites defended consistently, is because there are very easy ways to counter them. And moving forward, it's likely we won't see Penta defend that much more in this map. However, if they're unsuccessful on their other defenses they have been so far, who knows? Anything's possible. Playing Ducks also on the other side of the board might not realize that the right way to pressure onto that particular hold is from Archives, and that would continue to make it useful for Penta.
Now we are going to have KS get rid of some of the barbed wire here as he's out on the west end of the map. It looks like we might be seeing a very similar type push, or at least bomb plant from... Oh, a little tag there. Fabian will work his way in to take out Lackey, and that's going to give room for the rest of Penta members to move into the Inspections Lounge. A little team kill coming out, though, from Pengu as he gets the head there of KS.
That must have been a mistake. He likely was not expecting KS to be standing there, and he saw him and thought to himself, oh gosh, there's somebody to shoot, and hit the headshot as Pengu does, unfortunately on the wrong person. But the rotation has come out from Penta. They are now attacking onto the A bomb site rather than the B where they started. They don't have control over the top floor, though. This is very dangerous.
They don't. They still have Renewals and Meepy that are top side. It looks like Renewals may have dropped. Meepy coming down the east stairs, almost coming up behind the atrium here, right behind Goga. He's just waiting for the perfect time, waiting for some footsteps. Looks like Secretly will tap the head of Fabian, punishing him. And then we've got Pengu, who just dips on out, tagging Secretly as he does. With 5 health left to go, Secretly's going to tuck himself inside of the B site. Pengu spots him, tags him with a Twitch drone, and that's going to be one Twitch kill here, right onto the feet of Secretly. Goga, in the meanwhile, will pick off Meepy and then get traded up by Renewals. You've got 2-on-2 now with Snookin and Renewals going up against Pengu and Eunice. Pengu again going to work himself into the Inspections Lounge as we've got Renewals here as well. He's being pinched and collided upon. Pengu swooped his way in, grabbed Renewals' kill, and now we've got Snookin, last man alive. He's going to take that Vector, come on out of the ventilation unit, which is going to be that B bomb site, as Pengu and Eunice are both working their way towards the workshop. Coming up right behind.
This flank.
He could get it off. Nope, looks like he got droned on out. Going to move in forward. Eunice gets that plant down. Pengu going to take the hard angle on the right side. Picks off the kill into Snookin, and that's going to be a tie game now. 2-2 with Penta, tying it up.
So still some pretty major mistakes, you have to say, from coming out from Penta, but also from Playing Ducks. I mean, that Pulse playing in the middle of Customs hallway exposed completely to the front door was very dangerous. I mean, it's a 5-foot waltz for anybody to walk in through that front door and get the angle onto you. And there's not really much you can do about it other than win the engagement, which he wasn't even challenging onto. That putting Penta into the early man advantage in the beginning of the round, then the trade back coming from Pengu onto KS did balance things out, but at the same time, control was really spread out for Playing Ducks as a whole on that defensive round. They were very invested in CCTV, they were invested in Armory, they were invested all over the place. And you could see Penta, they just kind of tried to ignore the roamer game as long as possible, wait for the flanks to happen, and then pick off the roamers as they start to come back into the site.
And that sort of tactic works the best when you can execute and get rid of the on-site defenders quickly. Yeah, because if you allow the time for the defenders, for the lurkers to get back on or take their time to get back and give them the awareness that, hey, it's actually time to get back to site and help out our on-site defenders, that's where it gets a little tricky.
Right. And now Penta, they are going to be defending Armory. I believe this is for the first time. They were unsuccessful in their first defense. That was onto the ventilation. They were successful in their second, which was onto, and it's weird to say, but Customs. And now they're going to be going up to the Armory site. We'll see how they choose to defend this. It looks like so far they're setting themselves up pretty normally. No real surprises coming out here. But they are choosing not to invest, however, into CCTV. They're going a little bit more old style, having their mirror windows instead inside of the fountain, facing towards the office in order to hold that. And I think the second one might be in small office, though I can't tell. Whatever the case be, Playing Ducks setting themselves up for an office take through and through. This is very clear right now.
No, second window has not been placed down yet, it looks like.
Yeah, he still has a secondary window, so we'll find out where it goes all in due time. However, it's not really going to matter if he puts it towards the west side or the southwest side, because it does, again, look like Playing Ducks now are trying to attack onto the northeast
now this
side.
Could be the head of Renewals that gets picked off here by KS. He's waiting for him. Doesn't see him just yet. Looks like he all might see him, but no, it doesn't in time. Renewals, if he looks on over towards the window, that yellow highlight of the lower end of the window will be spotted. And just looks like KS moves off.
Unfortunately, KS not getting aggressive enough onto that angle, and Renewals will make his way up the bus successfully.
The plant already coming down. That's going to be Snookin inside of the smoke grenades, and we are going to have an instant plant. No, the C4 from KS tossed out of the lockers. that will finish it off, and unfortunately, Meepy also going to get taken out by KS through the wall. A fabulous double headshot. He's got the C4 kill plus 2 headshots. That's a 4K for him. Renewals will fall there by the SMG-11 of Pengu. Lackey, unfortunately, he's got to repel in, and KS will get that kill. After the kill, a double team kill here. Pengu taking out Goga, and then KS punishing Goga in return.
Okay.
KS will then fall by Lackey. This looks like almost a throwing round here by Penta. They've now got Lackey who's just getting their diffuser. He's going to move into lockers. We've got Eunice trying to get back onto site as well as Fabian, and this is the plant going down. Now Lackey could get this clutch, and he's sitting very nicely now.
He's choosing to reload his gun. That's going to give away his position. He will get pre-fired here.
And there it is, Fabian trying to save the day after what a massive almost screw-up that was by Penta.
Okay, we've seen, I think that's now 2 or 3 team kills coming out from Penta, and we're only 5. We just finished the 5th round, now 6 rounds into this matchup on the first map. Penta is making some pretty scary mistakes here. I mean, they're playing a good game overall as individuals, but that was some aggressive play, peeking out almost seemingly unnecessarily onto that balcony, where they could have simply just waited. And it seems almost like just, you know, normal, like, let's get the kill sort of deal.
It almost seems like a ritual. Like, they need to get a team kill in order to win the round.
Ha.
I mean, we had, I think it was KS was team killed by Pengu, and then Goga killed Pengu, and then KS killed Goga. It's just a big love triangle going on right there.
Right. Now, however, despite all of that, Penta are in the lead, 3-2 here. They are going to be in Montaigne, which we don't see a lot of these days. Montaigne seen as kind of a pocket pick here, not really a main liner. He used to be back when his revolver was redonkulous, but the revolver, since its nerf, isn't nearly as powerful. It used to be that revolver, it had 6 shots, so you know there weren't a lot of chances, right? But you could sit about 5 feet away from an enemy and just hip fire them down in 2 shots, and yeah, that was he saw a lot of play in that phase. But luckily he's seen a nerf since then, and now he's more of a situational pick where, like, okay, we're gonna plant behind the Montaigne. We're going to try and smoke around the Montaigne. You know, we're going to try and just do what Playing Ducks attempted to do last round, but with actual hard cover in front of us. So maybe that's exactly what we'll see.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, typically when we have seen a Monty pick on this top 4 hold, it's always been because they want to go from the east and north balconies, and like I said, that's likely what we'll see here, as they all have started out east.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So they're going to clear out the roamers underneath the offices before they start to pressure onto the office itself to deny that C4. There isn't going to be anyone from Playing Ducks setting themselves up to do that just yet. There might be later on, but right now they are not onto this attack, so they're not going to position themselves preemptively for that. The office pressure is going to be coming on now, and they are going to have to take care of Meepy, who's playing inside of the office corner, the office sandwich, as some call it. Between these two fully reinforced and indestructible walls, he's going to have a lot of angles to work with him personally.
This is how KS got that down before, and it looks like we have P-Ducks trying to come out and lay an ADS down. Last time KS got this kill onto Meepy by tossing in tossing in the frag grenade, cooked it perfectly right onto him.
He needs his teammates to go ahead and nullify that ADS so he can throw that grenade again. The sandwich
tossed on
there
out.
It is.
Jumps on down and gets hit off by the ADS yet again. Unfortunately, they may have used 2.
Yeah, that means that the sandwich position will not be taken care of for the attacking team, which means that office control will be forfeit. Also, seems like Playing Ducks is setting themselves up nice for this to counter this specific attack. Meepy taking out Junis to start things off here with a nice run out onto the east stairs. That sees all of north balcony. Good play by him.
Now we do have Fabian playing the Monty, trying to bait out the smoke grenades. He also has Snook, and roll to check from behind. Meepy ducks on out, gets a double kill to Goga and Fabian. What a tremendous jump out by P-Ducks. Meepy taking it loud and clear, saying, okay, we got this. There's only 2 members left from Penta. It's going to be Pengu and KS.
Yeah, and you could see there that the Penta strategy kind of fell apart as soon as those ADSs were placed in the office sandwich. That meant that, wow, there you see Chaos being picked off by Lackey. That's the late roam coming out from him. And now it's all down to Pengu in a 1 versus 5. But yeah, let's talk about that round for a second. So you saw the strategy fell apart for Penta as soon as the grenade couldn't come down into the bandit playing in the office sandwich. As soon as that one single factor didn't happen, they didn't have control over office, thus they didn't have the ability to push in through that north balcony. And it was interesting that they didn't have any sort of rotation, you know, like a throw a flashbang to get rid of the ADS, or like a couple flashbangs. There might even be 3 ADSs. You need to cover all your bases, and it just didn't happen. So if you can't get rid of that one specific position, and that's going to really thwart the attack, then you need to be able to pivot, as we've seen Penta do in the past, as we've seen them, you know, be the sort of team that adapts mid-match. It's what they're best at. We need to see that from them into either A, apply some other sort of pressure onto the Bandit and Sandwich, or B, rotate to a different site. Because, as it was clear there in that particular round, that Playing Ducks had set themselves up extremely well to counter the exact take that Penta was employing. So here you see custom offices coming out from Penta yet again. This is an interesting decision here for them, opting not to go for ventilation, which was their first defended site where they were unsuccessful. And I mean, it worked really well for them the first time, but the thing is that Playing Ducks are not going to vault in through the A window yet again, and because they know about that angle. So they're either going to get rid of the angle from above that Gogo was utilizing last round before they vault into A, or they're simply not going to vault into A. We might see, who knows, we might see a counter strike here come out for Playing Ducks. The one you were talking about, maybe just come from that northeast offices and then progress your way into Armory. Once you disable the west lobby hold in that Bandit, then then take out CCTV from behind. But anything's possible. We'll see how Playing Ducks choose to handle this.
Now, one of the things that is possible, again, to see possibly have happen is, depending on how much is droned out, we could see Playing Ducks try to work their way towards the west stairs. And there are 2 walls at the bottom of west stairs that go into that supply room that we see on the other side of Eunice here. Now, that might have been gotten reinforced. It might have been left open. We'll have to see if it is soft. But that's also one possibility to get into sight there.
Well, it just looks like Playing Ducks are situating themselves outside of the bomb site, just looking for the opportunity to apply the pressure that they need to make this happen. I think their primary objective here is to open up box before they take control over box hallway and a bomb site. Box has been opened up now. That means that Penta has lost a lot of control, but they still have pressure onto the A bomb site, so not to fear. We just need them to, they just need to be able to maintain that upstairs control in that Goga angle. Ooh, the grenade's gonna counter it though. Meepy taking out Goga with a well-placed grenade specifically meant for him, and now there is free reign for Playing Ducks to vault into the site, but no, Pengu has something to say about with another angle.
Pengu sitting on top of the metal detector here, or X-ray machine, as he moves in forward. Tosses out one gas grenade to stop Renewals from trying to rotate over. Now, we do have Renewals playing the glass. He's going to be able to see through that gas grenade, but not necessarily move through it. Now, Pengu is going to be right at the bottom of those west stairs. Looks like he wants to tag that shotgun kill to anyone hopping into the window. KS will tag one onto Lappy as Meepy falls there by Fabian. You've got a 4-on-2 now, a minute 10 left to go. You've got Secretly and Renewals. Renewals we're watching right now, working his way into that supply corridor, waiting for the shots there onto units. Now he's very slow, looking for the shots upwards. This is not going to spot Mira just yet. KS looking like he might be able to get the kills down onto him. However, Pengu sweeps on in from the side, takes out Renewals, and that is going to leave Secretly all by himself. Now he will tag the head there of KS as he looks on down, looking for Pengu. He saw him, goes for the shots, but misses. Now he does give away his position here. Pengu going to try to go out for a peek instantly, and again misses target, but Eunice looking up from that X-ray machine up through the drop patch to take out the feet there Secretly.
So we saw Playing Ducks very, very good on the fly attempt at a counter there. I like that grenade. I like how they just tried to disable all of the different methods for Penta to hold the site. But you could see, Penta, they had a third backup hold for the A bomb site. So their first one, okay, is the angle that is being used by Goga upstairs in CCTV. The second one is maintaining control over box, because if you have control over box, you can simply peek onto the A window. The third one is, we saw Pengu playing on top of the X-ray machine, which gives him direct line of sight through the wall onto that window in the A bomb site. And so that's 3 different ways to hold that particular angle. Then, even after they disabled Goga upstairs on the top angle, you saw that the Mira was able to rotate since they had 2 players playing in CCTV, and that became reestablished despite the fact that those smoke grenades came down to counter the Pengu angle. Some great play in general coming out from both teams, and I like that Penta has all of their bases covered seemingly here, but what I want to see from PengDux is look for the things that Penta doesn't have covered, because instead of looking for the opportunities that aren't being defended, you know, the things that aren't being defended, they opted to attack into the things that were directly countering them. And it could have worked, it almost did in fact, but it doesn't need to be as hard as they're making it, I feel. Penta, all the same, now going to be on match point, 3-4. PlayingDux going to be going on to a ventilation defense here.
Yeah, and the PlayingDux we're seeing play right now reminds me of the PlayingDux that we've seen when they've been at some of their best. We've seen them be able to take on some of the best teams in the world, and this is what is being recalled as I watch this game between these two. Yeah,
both these teams. Well, a lot of mistakes coming out here for both of them. A couple, team kills here and there for Penta. PlayingDux obviously trying to counter hard into how Penta are holding that customs. June is going to start things off here, picking off Lackey. That's the pulse gun. That's a lot of potential kill power coming out there, as well as information in general. But yeah, no, fantastic play from both the teams, regardless of all of the mistakes. And it has been a bit of a slugfest. Both of these Titans going head-to-head.
Now, Pengu will drop Meepy down with a headshot there inside of the Archives Lounge. One of the things that was like, yes, these teams are making mistakes, but they're also recovering from them.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And again, this is some of the highest level play we've seen that we see out of the Pro League.
Ooh, a hipfire shot, drop shot coming out of Pengu. Finishes off Snookin. That's going to be the 3-armor going down. Another kill. Looks like Renewals will drop KS off. That's going to mean Renewals is the last man alive here, a 1-on-4. Diffuser has been planted, and it's not looking good. It looks like map 1 will be going to Penta.
This would be one of the best clutches we've seen in a long time if Renewals manages to make this work. Just barely misses the headshot there, and will be finished off from Pengu. That's from behind.
And that is going to be Penta Sports securing map number 1 in this best-of-3 tonight.
Yeah, good halves coming out from all the players in the lobby in the chat. And that was a well-played match for both teams. Again, we talked about it, couple mistakes, but great recovery.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they set themselves up to have the biggest cushion when those mistakes were made. It was a 5-on-1 or 4-on-1 when the double TK came out on that top floor hold.
But could you imagine, though?
But I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, like, KS was in the best position to get that kill. And it was just Goga and Pengu, unfortunately, got a little bit too greedy on that.
Gotta get that KD, man.
You gotta get that KD. That would have been KS's 4K there. Because he got the C4 kill, he got the double headshot. Glaz got killed off, and there's that. But we do have highlights for you guys on Border, so let's take a look at some of the top plays from this past match.
Now that first round there, that defuse punt that you got to see briefly there, was so there's the nade from above on the roof. That was a fantastic grenade that they set themselves up for there. But talking about that defuse plant on the ventilation, that we didn't see Penta defend ventilation ever again, and it might be because of how big of a mistake it was to not be able to stop the B bomb site defuse plant. And here you can see that clutch from Renewals, I think it was.
Yes.
No, Snookin. That clutch from Snookin to give PlayingDux that round.
Ooh, that one was right in the groin. That was dirty. That was dirty. Now we do have here, this is the double kill. Unfortunately, we just missed it. That was the double kill there from the double team kill from Penta. But this was a very good hop out by Meepy. Grabbing the double kill, taking out the Monty play.
Yeah, and you could see that PlayingDux in that particular round, they were very set up to stop the exact attack we were seeing Penta employ coming on to Office's B bomb site.
So with that is map 1 under wraps. However, we are going to get underway with map number 2, which is going to be Consulate. Now this map was chosen by Penta. Seems as though it was built for Penta. We'll see if Penta can secure this 2-0 against PlayingDux today. However, PlayingDux have shown that they can play on this map before.
So the one thing about Consulate that I would say when it comes to Penta versus PlayingDux is that, yes, Penta has had really good luck on this map. They are very good at playing it. Here we are loading right on into it. PlayingDux could be starting on attack, Penta on defense. We are also going to be seeing a lobby defense coming out here first. No big surprise there, but a little somewhat shocking, I guess. Ooh, look at lobby defense in the first round. I mean, I think it really just comes down to, again, just the same thing we talked about earlier. we did see Penta go ventilation first round on border, and it's just a counter pick, or it's just to counter the operator picks coming out from playing Ducks. But anyway, when it comes to Penta, their past experience on Consulate and how they're likely to perform today. So we have seen playing Ducks try to employ some counter stratting here, whether it be on the fly counter stratting or actually pre-planned counter stratting. It's been some really cool stuff, like how they attempted to pick apart Customs defense coming out from Penta was really great. I like what they were doing there. So Penta is one of their greatest strengths is that they're an unpredictable team, in that they don't employ consistent strategy where they're going and like saying, all right, we're going to do this every time and we're just going to stick to it until it doesn't work, and then we'll change it after the match that it doesn't work on. Penta's the sort of team that, similar to Playing Ducks, they kind of adapt on the fly. Playing Ducks is a little bit more strategic, but they're good at counter strategy. And Consulate's one of those maps that Penta has played very consistently. The way that they choose to handle their attacks and defenses here, they're really similar. So despite the fact that Penta adapts on the fly more often than not, on Consulate I feel like Playing Ducks will have a lot of room in terms of counter-stratting to make this work for them. We do see Valkyrie being lit up a little bit early on there. It was probably unfortunate, a little bit shotgun through the wall maybe from Pengu as he was constructing the site. And that's going to put him now on 75 about HP.
Looking like we might be seeing Lackey work his way up towards the admin offices. This is typically how the majority of teams will go. They'll take up admin office, move their way in towards the top floor of the site, where we see basically Smoke situating himself at the moment inside of the projector room, taking over that top floor, because you can't really get a plant down into the main lobby of the A site, or I'm sorry, B site.
Yeah, there's too many ways for Penta to be covering it, really.
Yep.
So Playing Ducks going to be doing the atypical attack is just take control of admin, progress in to take control of the whole top floor before making that push into the lobby.
Now it looks like Goga, Pengu, and Fabian are going to make that a little bit more difficult. Fabian was playing close up on the soda machines, but decided to back trail all the way down the hall towards that center reception secretary desk. Renewal's going to hop onto the balcony window here as he's repelled on the south end of the building. He spots Fabian's thigh and puts a couple shots into that, and will take him down for the count.
You know, it's interesting that Fabian, he's been playing Ashe and Jaeger for the most part of this matchup. He's also the in-game leader, so he's playing the fragger roles as well as being an IGL. That's quite a task.
Now all gas grenades have been used out by Pengu. He's going to try to get back onto site. He does successfully and gives up control of that projector, as well as everyone else here on Penta. They've decided, okay, let's give them this. Let's fall back to our secondary plan. We still have some operators with C4 that could throw it up from underneath. This is where Goga's going to be playing underneath. He's got full control of the drop hatches, so he's able to toss them up into the main lobby if he needs to. And we will see Playing Ducks take over this projector room as well as the rest of the top floor, but they have to be cautious. Giving away their position could mean a C4 gets tossed up underneath of them.
Also, there's only 48 seconds to go here, and despite the fact that the attackers have established complete top floor control, they still cannot get the diffuser plant as they haven't gotten rid of all of the anchors on the site. June is going to pick off secretly. That's the Thatcher off the board. Now, that's not the most important driving force in this round, but Meepy will trade things back on to Junis.
And it looked as though Eunice unfortunately did not see the sledge at the top of the stairs there, and that's how Meepy was able to pick him off. KS, realizing the floor above him is about to be opened up, he's taking a look, and there are the shots coming out from Meepy. A wonderful headshot there. A little bit of a pre-fire good. Lackey, however, will take a couple bullets, but then flick around and get Goga down. Last minute is going to be Pengu. He's tucked away, waiting for the diffuser to get planted. At the last moment, he's going to peek on out, but Meepy says no. Looks inside of that little closet and will finish off Pengu. It is now round number 1, going to Playing Ducks.
So Playing Ducks, despite the fact that that round took them quite a long time to execute, they did it in wonderful fashion. They picked apart the Penta defense one step at a time. Take control of top floor, open up holes above where you know the defenders to be, and they had a clear beat on where it was exactly everyone on Penta was holding, and then simply waltz on into the front door and get the diffuser plant.
You could see exactly what Pengu was doing there, though. It was like he knew the plant was going down. People are like, why weren't you rushing out? Why weren't you rushing out? With 5 seconds left, he probably had, whoever was planting the diffuser, had about 3 to 4 seconds left of that diffuser. He was waiting for that last second to destroy it. Hopefully he could run around and skate some bullets for 2 seconds while the time ran out, and he got the win that way. He was not going to kill all 4 or 5 of them with that SMG 11.
Yeah, and if he had simply strafed to the right of the locker or the closet, excuse me. If he'd simply strafed to the right of the closet, he wouldn't have been in Meepy's line of sight, and he would have also had the line of sight onto the fuse plant, and he likely would have been able to win that round. But just a little bit too slow on that rotation. It's not like he's psychic. He couldn't tell Sledge was running at him from piano. And because of that now, Playing Ducks will walk away with the first round.
5 seconds to go.
Now we do see that angle coming out, I believe that was from the printer room, printer/kitchen, down into the middle of Teller's office. That looks like it was almost for once Visa gets taken over. A lot of times you'll see the attackers hop in through the windows into that Visa office, and looks like they might have a little surprise waiting above them.
You're just going to be applying pressure directly onto Printer early on. Looks like he's just baiting out that run out from Visa,
Attackers have located a bomb.
which isn't going to happen. There's no way he can know that. PENTA setting themselves up seemingly to take from the admin office. Usually that's how we will see attacks conduct themselves. Whether the defenders are, ooh, I like this angle here, through a drop down and a floor onto a window. I think that's an admin, although I cannot quite tell.
That is the single window of admin. He's peeking up through the drop hatch right by the double doors of
That's
Visa.
Printer.
Is it Printer?
Yeah, look at that. So that's that angle that we are seeing Junis be playing on right now.
Look at that.
And if Renewals holds that long enough, he will get a kill in all likelihood onto the 3-speed. But it looks like Junis has come off of the angle. There's a lot of investment in the basement right now for Playing Ducks. There are 3 players right now in the basement, but 2 of them are going to be rotating up into yellow stairs. So the opportunity was there for PENTA, but it is no longer. They're still attempting what they have done time and time again, which is place Pengu on that Blackbeard onto the A balcony, and then start to pressure from admin, get the diffuser plant in A. And Junis has been downed as he vaulted in through reception window.
I think that was Renewals' double floor peak that picked him off, and Goga's going to get on over and pick him up now. Now Pengu, like I said, is still on top of the balcony out here. Meepy knows he's here, so he's going to open up a couple floor shots. It wouldn't be too surprising to see Meepy rush on out, toss a C4 up, but KS, here's the deagle.
This is where KS needs to shine. He needs to get this double kill onto Lackey, but oh, he's been spotted out by Lackey. That means that his opportunity is gone. It's likely that we will see KS be taken down here.
Lackey's going to toss an EMP out. That's going to get rid of Lackey's heartbeat sensor. He's just waiting. He's figuring out where is that Valkyrie, because I know there's 2 here.
Okay, so both KS and the Pulse know where each other are. It's going to come down to who wins the fight.
Yep. And you also have Meepy who's trying, oh, there's a C4 toss, not going to tag anyone. You do have Meepy, though. He's going to grab the shots, though. Misses his target. KS comes lacking around and takes out Lackey and then gets traded out by Meepy. It's another C4 toss coming on out with 15 seconds left to go. Well, that's the final C4s of this round. So a 3-on-4 now. Plant's going to try to go down by Goga. Looks as though he will be not taken out just yet. Looks like he gets the plant down. No, his little butt's going to be seen. Meepy's going to try to tag it. He does successfully. And it looks like Junis, despite his double kill, will try to get this plant down. And he is being tagged, and that's going to be it round. And we will see the defenders win round number 2.
Countless rounds have been won or lost based upon the defenders having 2 C4s and cameras in the side and players underneath on that particular defense. But what I want to touch on real quick, and I'm not sure who that Hibana was, is what the heck was that Hibana doing? The Hibana was covering connector. He was covering connector. It was a 1 versus 2. They knew that the Valkyrie was underneath as he killed the previous bomb planter, and the Hibana was just standing at the top of Visa stairs covering connector. What we needed to see there for PENTA to win that round was whoever that heck that Hibana was just drop down the drop down in the lobby, try to challenge onto the Valkyrie, allow for the diffuser plant to go down. But unfortunately, did not happen. Or you know, hunt for the camera, try to deny the you know, the marks. But whatever the case be, again, that did not happen. Because of that, Playing Ducks will walk away with their second round. And now they are up 2 over PENTA, but they were up 2 over PENTA on border previously. So this might be where PENTA starts their comeback, as now they are going on to the basement defense rather than the first floor defense.
Yeah, and this is what PENTA did previously. I think during season 1 when they were on Consulate, they chose first floor first, second floor, I'm sorry, first floor, basement, top floor, first floor. They basically rotated it each and every time.
And that could sometimes keep the other team on their toes and unable to really refine their attacks moving forward. And it has worked out for them in the past. So yeah, just to talk about that last round real quick, basically the pressure from Playing Ducks coming from below, as you guys all saw, but Pulse and the Valkyrie is all that really they needed to win the round. The anchors on the site itself didn't apply a lot, didn't really do very much. It all came down to that Valkyrie Pulse combination to try and deny the diffuser plant in the A-bomb site, as well as having just that Valkyrie cam in general, apart from C4. The Valkyrie cam inside of the A-bomb site meant that the marks could keep coming down, which meant that you could keep shooting them through the destructible floor. Keep shooting the diffuser planter, that is. And now, Penta defending the basement. This is the first time we've seen basement on this particular map. Playing Ducks, they opted to go for an upstairs defense versus we just saw Penta the first floor. And this will be all 3 of our sites in 3 rounds covered early on. That's pretty abnormal. Usually you'll see 2 teams, they'll go top floor, bottom floor. And we won't see the first floor until we need somebody to have a pocket strap that's going to mix things up.
Now KS is going to be blind, not quite sure where he's running to just yet. Triple blinds going out, and Eunice unfortunately not able to hear the wall get opened up, or the plant go down, so the middle of garage will, fortunately for P-Ducks, get opened up all the way. That's going to force some rotation to happen out of Penta. Fabian rotating back onto site.
So usually you don't see the number 2 panel being opened up. Usually the Thermite will go for the number 1 or the number 3 panel on that garage wall. Having the number 2 panel opened up means that there's a little bit less room to work with, and you're very exposed when you're playing on the side angles.
Now looking like Pengu has a very important angle he wants to hold towards that top front door. Unfortunately, we won't see Playing Ducks move in there.
Yeah, it also means, as you can see here, that the defenders, if they choose to, can get aggressive onto panel 1 and panel 3 on the garage as they're still intact. That's hard cover to work with. You can also play by the black car there very effectively if you use it correctly. However, we are going to be seeing likely the smokes here coming out. Oh, there's the aggression from Junius. Not going to pay anything forward. Instead, going to knock him down to about 1 HP.
Taps his feet. Eunice still going to go aggressively. He has to, because it is going to be the shots coming out from Renewals to tag him down. Lackey looking like he will finish off Pengu. I don't know if Pengu was trying to rotate back or his spot was just seen, but Goga and KS will each tag off the trade, and that is Meepy and Lackey going down. Now the diffuser's going to try to get planted here. KS looking like he wants to move in forward, goes for the shots, but misses as he's moved in too far into garage. Renewals will get KS down, but get taken out of the process. He's down but not out at the moment. Fabian is able to find that MP5K kill there onto the attacker.
Oh, the timing. That's unfortunate there.
And it looks as though Last Man Alive is going to be secretly against Goga and Fabian. Now we are going to have Fabian try to push on out. He will tag the kill there under Renewals, and they get traded instantly. Now a one-on-one secretly has to stay back behind that van and wait for some shots to come his way. He's going to use the wheel of that car to cover his feet. And this is Goga has to push out. Right now he's going for the kills, but just playing Ring Around the Rosie, wasting as much time as possible. He can't get the kill, and there's the kill coming out from Secretly. And that is going to be Playing Ducks going up 3-0.
What a clutch from Secretly.
What a child's game of Ring Around the Rosie there.
Yeah. Pockets full of posy, we all, ashes to ashes, we all fall down. It's actually a very sad song. But yeah, no, great play there from him. Really denying that diffuse coming out, well, the diffuse of the diffuser coming out for, disabling of the diffuser coming out for the Penta squad. And now Playing Ducks, despite the fact that some of these rounds have been really close, like for example, the last 2 rounds we've just watched, they are now in a 3-0 lead. That last round, so Penta, they tried to deny as much as they could the control of the piano, and thus if they had denied piano control for the attackers a little bit sooner, they would have been able to deny the diffuser plant. However, the diffuser plant came down just via cover of smoke, and smoke is one of those things that I feel like is a little bit underutilized right now in the Pro League, especially considering there aren't as many mainline operators who have smoke anymore. But you can see Playing Ducks making great use of that glass smoke combination to be able to make that round happen. If it weren't for that smoke planting the diffuser so close to the black car, we likely would have seen Penta be able to disable the thermite before he could get it down.
I think it was very wise of Playing Ducks, though, like you said, to push in forward more so than just say, okay, we're going to take 2 steps into garage, we're going to go for the plant. No, they took about 5 to 8 steps forward, planted in between the black car and that white van.
And normally, because normally what you see is you see them plant, the attackers attempt to plant in front of the white van, right where you see Meepy standing right now. because that's hard cover, right, from the guys on the east side of the garage. But if one of those guys gets aggressive, or if there's somebody on yellow stairs that you may or may not have covered, then that is going to be to your detriment. Now we do see Penta. They have a thermite, but they're opting to use the Habana to open up 2 panels of the garage wall.
Looks like Meepy trying to get a little bit of some very small pixel angles there. However, Goga spots him out, and Meepy will instantly be wall banged there by Eunice. A fabulous shot as the Habana progresses forward.
So we've talked about this before. First floor is very easily defended from any floor you choose to defend it from. I mean, you could defend it from the first floor itself, the top floor, the bottom floor, what have you. And you can see here that Penta's reading into how Playing Ducks is shooting hold this, and that's from the bottom floor.
It looks as though secretly, though, picks the headshot there onto Fabian with that SMG-11 from Smoke.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
That's Ash going down after a quick engagement. Now, he is going to rotate back over to Visa as Eunice was bottom floor. He's now all the way on the very top, hopped on out, got all the way to the top, going to open up the drop hatch above the B site.
Yeah, there's no pressure coming from Playing Ducks onto that top floor, which means that Penta has full control of it.
Now, KS is going to be thwarted here. A couple shots coming out here from Lackey from the kitchen. Renewal's waiting for the perfect opportunity to then just rush right around. However, KS looking like he's just going to back on out. No, he's not just yet. He's going to try to re-engage, hop on over the yellow banister, over to the white van where Renewals looking like he might be swinging up from behind.
This is a very dangerous play here from KS.
Oh, he comes around the black car. Finally sees him, but he tags the shot down onto him. Lackey, though, he's still inside of the kitchen. K is going to pop the headshot onto him as well. He's just a headshot machine today. Secretly, though, will pop the shot back there onto Goga. SMG-11, again, a secondary kill. Now you have 2 on 2, 55 seconds left to go. Secretly above, we've got another man who's inside of the bathroom. KS with a 3rd headshot this round. He's got 1 more to go. It's going to be on a snook and inside of the main bathroom on the 1st floor. Now KS could pop this shot down. It looks like Pengu has the cover to go. No, he's going to try to fight this himself. 40 seconds left, and he's going to get the plant down. Now Snookin has a deciding factor. Is he going to go through the middle corridor? Is he going to come back around? Looks like he's coming back around. Pengu's going to go for the shot. Pops on up, and yet again another headshot. So KS with 3, Pengu with 1 headshot. This is Penta on top of their game at the moment.
Yeah, just 1 less mistake than they've had in every other round, and that allows Penta to walk away with their 1st round of this map on Consulate. And you really have to attribute a lot of that to KS. I mean, let's be honest. That was some great play by him. Now, I said it was risky when he re-engaged onto that basement. But if he hadn't taken out the pulse and the Jaeger downstairs, then we would have almost certainly seen that C4 come up from underneath to kill Pengu as he was attempting to get that defuse plant. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are saying. What are you talking about, Kickstar? The floor in the lobby is not destructible. Well, there are 2 different drop-downs inside the lobby itself that allow for full C4 spread across pretty much the entire lobby defuse plant area. Where there's not really anywhere you can safely plant inside the lobby that can't be reached by C4. So because of that, I think there's 1 little corner by the front door, but it's actually really hard to get to, and also I think it leaves you on about 75 HP. So if you have low HP when you're trying to get the defuse plant at the front door on the far, I think it's the right side of the door if you're facing inward, but it doesn't matter. Whatever the case be, that C4 didn't come up because KS applied the pressure that he needed to, as well as some great plays from Junius taking control of that top floor, applying the vertical control. Meant that once KS worked his way upstairs, he could then cover Pengu on the defuse plant.
They're going to spot a Valcam tossed out by Goga. Looks like it might be onto the light post by Garage. Let's stay tuned and see just how accurate that toss was.
Yeah, those are really difficult cameras to hit, even for pros.
There is a garage door that is left soft at the moment.
So you can see that the entire Playing Ducks squad is just barely missed the lamppost there, and because of that, it will be kind of easy to spot out for Playing Ducks. But that, as you can see, Playing Ducks setting themselves up for a very typical garage take. Penta has defended the basement before, but they have been unsuccessful. It was a very close round, however. It came down to a 1-on-1 with the diffuser planted and secretly managed to clutch it out. Now Playing Ducks looking to repeat that exact effect and get that same kind of just standard attack strategy out onto the garage. Open up garage, step number 1. Smoke off garage, step number 2. Plant diffuser, step number 3. They are also going to be taking control, in all likelihood, of the piano itself. Applying that pressure to the piano, denying the vertical control from Penta will allow them to get the defuse plant in its entirety.
Now we are having that mute come out again. This is typically where we saw Falco play this during the Season 1 finals. We saw him come into the mix on Consulate specifically for his mute game. Looks as though Fabian may have taken a couple plays from the book and moved them up towards that top floor. He's rotated back downstairs as Pengu's going to be the only roamer on the top side. Propelling into the piano room, we just saw Sledge. That's Meepy getting his way right above the site.
So panel number 3 is going to be opened up by Playing Ducks there. That means that they're likely going to want to try and open up panel number 1 of the garage later on, but Thermite has worked his way. Oh wow, he's being very safe about this. No, normally, or not normally, but sometimes when you have one hard panel being opened up, you'll have a defender try and run out to catch the Thermite off guard before the Thermite can plant his secondary charge. But because of that, Playing Ducks is just playing very safe. Snookin kiting all the way around the garage ramp, and he will get that panel number 3 opened up.
Now, this is typically what you expect to see from a well sought after attack phase. You
sorry, panel number 1.
All of the garage opened up here.
Yeah, panel number 1, excuse me. It's left to right from defensive side, so 1, 2, 3.
Now with 30 seconds left to go, it's still going to be a 5-on-5. We are going to see Snookin and Secret try to work their way forward. Lackey raining down bullets from above to get rid of Eunice right by the side of Pipes. Looks like Goga's taking quite a bit of bullets too as Pengu's come down the circle stairs. Meepy will tag and finish off Goga as KS gets that headshot down and Lackey finishing him off. Now you've got 2 members left to go. Diffuser is planted. Meepy and Lackey both going to be topside. He's going to have to rush on in, goes for the kill, tags one, but doesn't realize there's another one in the bathroom. He's going to turn his back as Lackey looking right towards the bathroom doorway now. He's got a 1-on-4. Pengu needs to rush on out, but it's not going to happen. He's going to look on forward, out of Pipes, and have be tagged down from above again. Lackey just doing work.
Yeah, it looks like Lackey got him from the drop down there. Some good angle holding, denying any pressure coming out from those Pipes. Even if he had been able to pick off Lackey before he progressed downstairs, he would have had to challenge onto 3 different ACOGs outside, so it's unlikely he would have been able to clutch out that round. But a nice try from Pengu there. Very, very basic attack coming out from Playing Ducks, and just no hard counters from Penta to stop that attack. Now we are on match point, 4-1. It's not a 5-0. It's not going to be a 5-0 if anything, but at the same time, Penta need to step things up here now if they don't want to go to a 3rd map. Penta were the previous map's victors, so there is still a little bit of a grace period here. Going on to Chalet, I believe it was. However, I feel that might favor Playing Ducks just a little bit. Seems as though there's a little bit of miscommunication right now happening on the Penta side of things, but more importantly, they just straight up do not have anything on their garage hold to stop a diffuse plant coming down from Playing Ducks. There's not one single function that they have in place for that. I mean, not smoke grenades weren't coming out, C4s weren't coming out. Maybe it was because the Penta was getting picked apart one by one, but they need to have contingency plans in order to stop that from happening.
Yeah, the basement hold that we've seen from Penta so far has not been
5 seconds to insertion.
what I haven't seen Penta in their hold.
Right, and it's weird. It's like it makes you wonder why they're trying to defend basement time and time again when they so clearly aren't having very good success against Playing Ducks' attack. We'll see if they choose to go down into the basement if they manage to win this round, or if they're going to go opt to go somewhere else.
Bomb located by attackers.
Now Pengu will pop the shots there onto Secretly's face. That's getting rid of the smoke. A very versatile operator being taken away from Playing Ducks early on in the round.
So Playing Ducks has opted for the yellow stairs hold onto the B-bomb site, opening up that B-bomb site wall instead of reinforcing it, and I think that makes a lot of sense. There's no real reason to reinforce the wall if you're not going to play anyone inside of the closet of B. And that means that they can also have a much more free roaming game. As you can see, there are 2 people down to the bottom of yellow stairs right now. That's that Valkyrie and Jaeger combination, and they're going to be able to deny any vault into the B-bomb site and thus any diffuser plant if it should happen. However, Junis is picking said players apart from below. That's the Jaeger off the board. That means there's only one contingency in place for Playing Ducks to deny the diffuse plant of somebody vaulting into the, repelling into the B-bomb site.
Yeah, and it looks as though we've only got 1 man on site. He's actually a little bit offside. He's tucked away inside of the bathroom. That's Snook, and now Meepy getting tagged down by the soda machines. That's going to be 1 C4 off the board. Another one there as Lackey tries to go to pick him up. A double kill there by Eunice. What was happening there? However the case, we will have Pengu finishing off the last kill there on a Snookin, and we still have Penta still in this, but down by 2 points.
See, that's the Penta we're used to seeing, ladies and gentlemen. A great strategy by them to pick apart how it was exactly that Playing Ducks was holding that bomb site. You saw the Valkyrie Pulse combination coming out downstairs, similar to what we've seen time and time again on that particular bomb site. I mean, it's the most common way to hold it from below. You've got a double C4, you've got the Valkyrie cameras themselves inside, so you get those marks from your teammates. You've also got the pulse sensor for the contingency in case they shoot the Valkyrie, and Penta just set themselves up to pick off both those players early on. They had Eunice all the way down in the basement who rotated up through those spiral stairs to get the nice flank off on that Pulse, who was trying to pick up his teammate who had been down from the cement wall all the way out by the front door. And cement wall does give you a lot of visual control over the piano itself if you simply open up the windows. So we saw that play very well into Penta's hands there. Also having that Blackbeard repelling onto the B bomb site window, that's a lot of power exerted onto the anchors themselves. And yeah, just Playing Ducks got picked apart one piece at a time. Now Penta's going to opt to go for top stairs defense here. They do not have a pulse, so they will probably not have quite as an invested vertical game, but they do have Goga on that Valkyrie, who will likely be doing the same thing with the C4 from below.
I feel as though the standard take from an attack standpoint has been to take over admin and push over from east to west. And so I feel like what we're going to see Penta do is line themselves up inside of the admin office, or at least for an admin take. There we go. We see Eunice and KS here ready for that push in.
Yeah, but it looks like Playing Ducks is opting to go with what we just saw Penta do, which is the opposite, the west side take. And that makes sense. That stands to reason. I mean, Penta, they tried a east to west take earlier in the match. We saw it, and it was horribly unsuccessful. Came down to the last couple seconds, and that defuse plant just could not go down because of the vertical control coming out from the Valkyrie Impulse from underneath. And Playing Ducks just going to be like, all right, well, if it works for Penta, it probably worked for us. You can have secretly on the cement wall trying to open up those windows to get those line of sight, again, the lines of sight onto Fabian. You can see as the windows open up, Fabian's going to take a couple shots, and secretly still just playing on that cement wall, waiting patiently for the angle to open up. This is, see, the reason that one of the big differences between, I suppose, attacking onto the B bomb site, or sorry, and the A bomb site and the B bomb site, is that it's a lot harder to get rid of somebody who's playing where we see June is playing right now, who can still deny via C4 from underneath onto A, than it is to deny onto the bottom of B. Because again, having someone on that cement wall or just repelling into piano right now is pretty simply established for the attackers.
Now Fabian looking like he's going to go possibly downstairs as he is getting droned out by Snook, and Eunice still in the middle of that main lobby by reception. Lackey going to try to come up the yellow stairs and try to coordinate with Meepy to get out some of the members from above. Now Eunice waiting for that perfect opportunity. Here's the shots from Secretly being popped on out from the front of the building. And there is a duo, Eunice and Fabian, retreating back to the bottom floor instead of going all the way back to site.
So that's the connector, I believe, that we just saw Meepy nade, and unfortunately for him, there was no one inside of the connector at the time. Secretly is going to take out Pengu, though. That's smoke. That means that this last 50 seconds isn't going to really come down to somebody smoking off one particular lane for the rest of the round. By somebody, I mean Pengu. That
nade was connector, and it did force Pengu out to rotate a little bit, enough to get thwarted off and finished off by, I believe that was Renewals. However, Snookin is going to try to repel into B's site. He's going to be stuck inside a barbed wire for a little bit. C4 toss might come out here from Goga. And there he is. No, he doesn't need the C4 toss, as he is just going to peek on around. Fabian, though, will be the one to finish off Snookin, trying to get that defuse pointer down. Lackey will be pre-fired at the bottom of the yellow stairs. And now we are in Penta favor, trying to come on back with 15 seconds left to go. We are going to see Renewals try to repel on inside. Meepy and Secretly going to move in forward. Meepy will tag the one nade kill onto Goga. Fabian then finishes off the headshot there as Eunice will take out Renewals. A 4-on-1 Secretly as he tries to repel on inside, meets another headshot there by KS.
Okay, all right. So what did we see there from Playing Ducks that was very similar to Penta, and what did we see that was dissimilar? So Playing Ducks, their attack did disable the piano. However, it did not apply enough pressure onto those yellow stairs. And arguably, neither did Penta's. However, Penta made full use of the yellow stairs, as in contrast to Playing Ducks. Playing Ducks had such a man disadvantage that so many people picked off that they could not fully utilize those yellow stairs. And more importantly, because Playing Ducks invests so heavily in having that Pulse and Valkyrie underneath, they had 2 players down there, and they got cut off from the yellow stairs rotation. I think they were also, okay, so the guys who were on the C4 from below contingency were also the yellow stairs contingency. So because Playing Ducks put both of their eggs in the same basket there, they didn't have any way to stop the defuse plant. But clearly here, Penta, on the other hand, did, as they were not so heavily invested in C4 from below. Instead, simply going for the old time-tested, well, I guess not really time-tested, just kind of direct line of sight, shoot them with a gun method of holding from the main hallway and yellow stairs themselves. Now, Playing Ducks going to be going on to defense. They will be on the top floor, and this is a bomb site that Penta has been met with equal success as unsuccess. When they try to attack onto the A-bomb site via admin, they've been thwarted. And when they try to attack onto the B-bomb site via the BB windows and disabling those roamers downstairs, they were successful. However, you have to imagine that now Playing Ducks, after meeting that fate that was their last defense, they're likely not going to be making that same mistake again, where they stack up their C4s right on top of each other, and instead have them simply invest in solo roaming practice.
We do see Pengu getting back up onto his corner office. Again, this is looking like we will see that corner office yellow stairs take potentially here from Penta. Now, the diffuser has been dropped outside by Garage, which typically means that once the round goes underway a little bit more, we'll either see Fabian or another member from Penta pick it on up, rappel into the corner office right where Pengu is clearing.
So you can see where Secretly is playing right now. You can see he has the holes opened up, but oh wow, there's no barbed wire on the A bomb site door, which means that Secretly might get a really nasty flank here right now if he's not paying attention. He is, however, paying attention, but it's still a scary prospect. No barbed wire means the 3-speeds can establish control over A bomb site in the matter of a second.
Now you can see KS trying to get the flank covered down. Eunice moving in forward. He's got that bearing 9. Now he's going to try to go for the shots there on the Secretly. He does successfully take someone out through the couch, and it looks as though he will successfully get control of that B site, or A site. Pengu has already rotated himself over to the balcony window. Diffuser will be in the hands of no one at the moment. I think he got dropped outside there. Did you see it dropped outside on the balcony? The C4 heartbeat sensor. Lackey's going to be underneath. He spots Eunice, but for the moment, you're not going to see a C4 come out just yet. Looks like Fabian spots out Lackey, tags him with one of the drone shots, and you're going to see Fabian pre-fire this onto Lackey, gets him down to about 30 health, and then finishes him off as he rotates back over to the circle stairs. A 4-on-3 now with 2 members of Playing Ducks downstairs. Snookin's going to be in the side of the bathroom yet again, as the plant is going down by Pengu successfully.
A great pick apart there from Penta, and now the retake is going to have to be something spectacular from Playing Ducks to make this comeback happen.
Now Renewals and Meepy going to be downstairs. Snookin trying to secure this floor. He sees Pengu, goes for the shots there onto his shield. Doesn't hit the target though, and we might be seeing Renewals trying to pop up. He goes for the Visa Stairs take. He doesn't get anyone down, and he looks like Eunice is already out there. C4 toss goes, misses his target. Last 2 alive, Snookin goes for 1, misses all his targets. Last man alive is going to be Meepy. This is going to go to overtime, ladies and gents, as we have Meepy getting picked off by Eunice.
Okay, so a great fake out there from Penta. Have to say, absolutely fantastic. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Penta that we're used to seeing right now, what we just saw in that round. They invested so heavily in a B-bomb side take, and they very clearly were going for a B-bomb side take, and it stood to reason. Like if you're Playing Ducks, you're thinking, all right, where have they been successful on attacking this bomb site? When they're going for B. So when they faked out that B bomb site take, then they rotated extremely quickly over to an A bomb site take. They saw that, wow, Playing Ducks has made this extremely easy for us. They don't have barbed wire on the A door. They don't have anyone invested in holding the A bomb site. They're so heavily invested in defending B, because that's the site that we would attack standing to reason, that now we could just kind of waltz in and take A. Not only that, but they also covered all of their bases. Penta invested in that lobby control, which denied the C4 and that Pulse and Valkyrie from below, which would have denied that diffuser plan. So good on Penta there to cover all their bases. Unfortunately, Playing Ducks investing too heavily in the B bomb site gave them a little bit of a disadvantage moving forward in that round. Now, overtime, as you called it, we will have Penta starting on defense, Playing Ducks starting on attack. Overtime, as you may or may not know, the sides are decided randomly by the game, so this is the result that we came up with.
Yeah, and what this basically means is that first 1 to 6 is going to win today. And that could be Penta, could be Playing Ducks. If Playing Ducks wins this map, they will move on to map number 3. If Penta can somehow manage to win 2 out of the next 3 rounds, we will see map number 2 go in their favor, and the series go to Penta.
Right, but either which way about it, Playing Ducks are playing fantastically, and so are Penta. We saw some really big mistakes on border earlier today from Penta specifically, but they've really recovered from that. Seemingly their mentality has been repaired. Now, last time that Playing Ducks attacked this particular bomb site, it was the same way that we saw, well, similar to how we saw Penta attack it. However, one of the big differences is that Playing Ducks did not disable the yellow stairs, and Penta invested so heavily in holding those yellow stairs.
Now we will see Renewal try to rotate on over. Pengu's going to tuck himself into the cubby. He is now stuck. There is no way out unless he tries to go through the drop hatch, but he could be on the 4 side of the wall, not the rear side.
He's going to lay down that gas canister, but he may or may not know that there's a glass on his window, and the glass is going to be able to see directly through those gas canisters. Whoa!
Oh, Pengu goes for an aggressive peek and actually takes out the glass for the trade. That is a wonderful kill. That's going to be their their hallway holder on the corner office windows.
So that's probably why you see Blackbeard played more often than not, rappelling on those windows rather than the glass, as he has a shield in front of his face, and that may or may not have happened to him.
Now we are going to see Playing Ducks decide whether or not to rotate around or continue to go for this B-side hold or B-side push. Right now, it's looking like they're going to stick with it. We do have an enemy that's been detected outside. I want to say that was Eunice outside on the Visa stairs or Visa hallway. Moves on out, try to pick off someone by the balcony, but unfortunately there was no one he saw. Lackey's just going to get his drone into position for the main lobby and say, hey, we should probably get in there. Make sure it's all cleared on out. Now the camera above him did spot him. It's in the standard cam spot. Lackey as well is going to be in piano as we have Thatcher moving on over. That's going to be secretly. Nade gets tossed on in. Now Pengu is still here. He will fall though, and it looks as though secretly tags him down for the count. Now with 35 seconds left to go in the clock, a 3-on-4. We still have favor here as Penta, that's going to be Goga, getting blinded inside of the bathroom. He's just going to prone at the moment at the door. Lackey's going to go for the kill, but it misses his target. Goga swags him on down, and Meepy finishes off the trade there on Goga, tagging him. Now KS will try to get a shot there. He gets another headshot as Eunice gets secretly down. It's now a round down here. We are going to see Penta secure this round number 1 after what it looked like it might have been in favor of Playing Ducks.
An absolute slugfest coming out in that round. What we saw from Playing Ducks was a great job disabling that Insight B hold on the smoke, but unfortunately when it came down to just trading out frags, it went in the favor of Penta, as they were getting some good aggression and good angle coverage there.
Now, as we take a look at the scoreboard, I think we saw Eunice top of the leaderboard with 12 or 13 kills. And who was it from Playing Ducks? I think it might have been Lackey, top of his game. But what we're looking at here is, I mean, there are some very key, important players that are coming out today from both of these teams.
Right, now Playing Ducks, they're going to be the ones in the prickly position of trying to keep their hopes and dreams alive here. And there you have it, the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. Meepy really stepping up, Junis as well, KS on the trio, KS and Secretly really, those 4 players kind of being the driving forces for both of these squads here.
KS has 8 kills. I want to say 7 of them, at least 7 have been headshots. He's got a huge headshot percentage going for him this game.
Right, also there was a couple rounds where KS clutched out the round, specifically that one. I remember he was playing Thatcher, vaulted over those yellow railings you see right in front of you and disabled all the C4 potential from below on a lobby attack for Penta. That was a great round for him. But overall, now that we are having Playing Ducks thrust onto defense of the basement, Penta are going to go for what seems like a standard garage take here. They do have a wide spread though. Well, you have the very standard thermite spawning over by Garage. He is going to be one of few. And Fabian, who was spawned with him, has moved over to these bench windows.
Now we do have IQ play coming out from KS, which he has been known to play from time to time. And I foresee that being used to spot out where those Valkyrie cameras are in sight.
RED scanning. Located a bomb.
Drone up.
It looks as though Lackey gets spotted out here by Fabian. A couple shots coming his way from this shock drone. It looks like he might be missing him.
Yeah, he hit the leg of the table, I think, there.
There it is, another tag coming on out, and no one's actually in a position to collapse on it and take advantage of that opportunity just yet. We do finally see Eunice on this windowsill, and Lackey's still not in the best of positions. If he tries to peek out, it looks as though he may be picked off. A couple headshots coming on out. Eunice trying to get this through the window, or through the unit, but no, KS tosses a nade in. That's about as good as a headshot. You can get a headshot with a nade, right?
I mean, in theory. But all the same, they do now have control over Piano, which is going to give them construct. Oh, wow, Judas repels in and picks off Meepy, who is playing very aggressively inside of the circle desk in main lobby. Renewal's playing on the top of spirals here, going to look to try and refrag, but he's playing extremely safe.
Now, this is the Penta we recall seeing previously. This is the Penta that is able to come on back from a huge deficit, get their ducks aligned to be able to shoot them on down in this case. And so we do a 5-on-3 now with over a minute left to go in the round, but still not much wiggle room for playing ducks as Renewals is here on the top of the circle stairs looking towards the soda machine hallway, towards the yellow stairs.
Renewals needs to make an aggressive play and refrag for his team. Otherwise, wow, there it is. Fabian being taken out. Now he's going to get way more passive fall back into the site, seemingly. Oh, wow, he's staying on the spiral. That is dangerous. But he will, however, have picked off the Twitch, and that's really good for his squad. Even with 47 seconds left to go now, Penta has to get some good push out here to make this take happen. Pengu is in a really bad spot to influence the round overall.
He is. He's going to have to get back over. He picks up Diffuser, goes on out towards Garage. Renewals will come back in towards the main stairs, it looks as though, or the main lobby. However, Snookin still holding down the Garage with that fantastic mirror placement. So they're going to have to get those flashbangs in. No smoke grenades left on the squad, though, at the moment that we're seeing. So the plant will go down behind the black car. And here he goes. Hopefully, Pengu's side will not be tagged. Do they have control of the yellow stairs? They do. That's going to be Eunice. Now we will see secretly go down. Snookin and Renewal's last two alive. Renewal's trying to go for this shot. Looks like Diffuser gets planted. And unfortunately, he was not there in time. A 4-on-2. This will go in favor of Penta unless something drastic happens. Snookin, last man alive, gets tagged on down by Eunice. GG. And we are going to see Penta come on back from a 4-1 deficit to win this 6-4.
So Penta in the beginning of this match did seem like they were just kind of having a little bit of communication issues. A lot of mistakes that we don't often see Penta made. But then suddenly, in the second half of Border and in the second half of Consulate, they made themselves clear. They showed us what we're used to seeing from Penta and the team that won the previous season.
Look at that, 15 kills by Eunice, 11 by KS.
KS.
Fantastic job, guys.
Well played to Penta overall.